The final seal has been broken. Apocalyptic visions embrace eternity, terror to consume the species. All along you knew this time would come. Abraxas annihilation between the heavens, when the lamb and the goat were fused as one. The waters of that asylum drowning out all the voices that plague your mind, which is the curse of untapped intelligence, pushing you to the edge of sanity. Repetitive waves continue, blinded past your soul. Abraxas annihilation between the heavens, when the lamb and the goat were fused as one. The fire purifies, cleansing you of all of this beneath your bearing of reality. Temptation's grasp, as destiny comes unto itself. The end. Welcome back, everyone. This is Sethikus, Boza, blackearthproductions, Blue Flame, Healing Arts, and Occult Science. I'm coming on to make a quick segment in context of things that have been revealing themselves to me, and I was prompted to share with you in terms. This is going to expose some things on a deeper level that some of you may have not even considered in context. According to the Gnostic narrative, Abraxas 365 is a polymorphous world spirit that permeates the very fabric of our existence and is the ruler of heaven and earth. In terms of military to government, as statism and politics, let alone false education centers, and further to Gnosticism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Satanism, dark Luciferianism, secret societies, as well as the actual dark occult orders that run these organizations. All attribute these front religions, also through the New Age movement, as stations and offices for observation and potential recruitment into the left wing and the right wing brotherhoods and sisterhoods on high levels in context to our world. Note in this segment, as I claim here, to my observations, that Abraxas 365 owns its dominion over everything said, including the triangulations of time cycles within these gridworks of consciousness. The reason that I'm sharing this is because I'm observing many individuals being pulled harder into this shit, again, like clockwork to programming. And one of the things that was ever first appropriated from the original teaching and inverted was the symbol of the Kemetan sun, turned into the Sumerian Set through religion, and further attributes the dark philosophy of the Sumerian Draconian Empire to instigate Abraxas 365's gridworks, which is eclipsed and made occult the original teaching and proper knowledge and wisdom and symbolism of the sun to Ra via the Nordic and Kemetan traditions. In ancient times before this, truth was expressed at table through Ra's tour in Kemet in terms of the ancient wisdom councils to Tyr. Here's where the rites of initiation happened, and individuals were taught how to ignite the eternal human spirit to soul code, blood code, codex, to an individual's templating. And it's how we override the deception. What's worse is that all of these appropriations that Gnosticism in its diabolic form tries to take from the Nordic tradition, as if it's the origin of the fire letter codex of the runes themselves, and is also where Christians got their Gnostic quote-unquote Heavenly Father concept and inverted Sky Father appropriated in terms of Tyr, concealing the truth. They further appropriate Odin, God, Gud, Gudin, Wod, Goat, from the Nordic tradition and twist everything to plague inversions upon the codex, keeping us from our birthrights on to the true universal tree of life, which was and still is the original driving force of wisdom and process integration of individuation and actualized initiation that existed in ancient times to Kemet, to thousands, if not millions of years before the 19th dynasty. And to that, we have been in a very dark hour in context to the procession. But the original teaching is here again, to our present hour, which hails the original legacy and is what this mystery school represents. Balder the son of Odin and Frigg, is the sigil soul spark of the central sun in terms of proper knowledge and wisdom to the gates of true intelligence. All of this appropriated and replaced by the inversions of Christianity throughout the Middle East and Europe that spread like a plague through more inquisitions into the rest of the world in an attempt to wipe out the shaman class of every human race, like I've explained, as well as the original teaching feared throughout the centuries. Note the Gnostic symbol and figure of Abraxas 365 represents the inverted driving force that triangulated this diabolic philosophy into the world. Abraxas 365 is a 1,000-armed polyp with coiled knots of winged snakes and is the original symbol of the diabolic hermaphroditic lord that seeks union with the void, gave birth to the world of slavery, and devours that world at the same time in terms of grid works of consciousness, to harvest through the watchers via the demiurge in context to Gnosticism. And see, this is even worse than Baphomet, and also how they demonized and inverted the symbol of the goat, playing both sides of the equation in terms of triangulation factors to the divide and conquer. All of this was revealed much, much earlier on an even greater level, going into prehistory in the Nordic mythos to the Svartalfar in terms of the tradition, which warns the human races about all of this, let alone the intentions of the Svartalfar within Midgard. And if you need a later reference point in terms of what I'm getting at, this is everything to do with the fallen Anu. Draconians, reptilians, greys, insectoids, all of this phenomenon, light beings, and how they play both sides of the equation in terms of the false cold light held within the triangulation of the Ouroboros. That is what the diabolics are. They who made alliance with Loki and Gulveg, who caused all of this anti-cosmic bullshit to the Old One's resurgence into the Nine. That is what all of the inverted energies of Saturn constitute, and it's what all of these Black Sun cube cult, vampiric blood cult religions worship and slave as triangulation factors to dark occultism and affiliated organizations in our world, whether you realize it or not, in terms of actual occult proper knowledge and wisdom and context. For your own sakes, get the fuck out of indoctrinated kindergarten bullshit, people, and be initiated into the mystery school with Black Earth Productions. We're not living in some kind of simulation, and there is no escaping reality. This is about owning our existence to self-mastery and experience this condition to life here in our world. Our experience and lives here are real, and it actually matters what we do. So all of this to Abraxas 365 and Gnosticism and religion, let alone dark occultism, are also symbols and systems of consciousness within the lockdown equations of the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 that link their psychosomatic wormhole etheric sludge through the parasitic old ones in context to Divok AI. All of its constructs into our realm, as I have explained for those that have been paying attention to anything that I presented to expose in terms on Black Earth Productions. And to anyone, let alone those that consented the needlecraft the past few years. If you really knew and understood the hour that we are in and what the fuck is really going on, if you really knew and understood how unbelievably ancient the true occult histories of the human races are and how ancient our reality field actually is at present, past all of these things to what is in truth, then you would have already seen and known these things for what they are by now. You would know what the fuck I'm talking about. But as I observe, many in network are still keyed hard into all of this unwitted, not knowing the difference. That is why I'm sharing this for you at the very least to consider. It's nothing new, and none of these things have ever made our world a better place. They have only been the cause point for confusion and morbidity on some of the deepest levels of psychological trauma and disassociation from your very soul, which continues to be devoured to life because you won't let this bullshit the fuck go to actual healing and trade out your responsibility to save your programming plaguing the victim instead of deciding to own the truth and to own your existence and rise out and above this bullshit narrative and take your power back by experiencing the ignition of your star core intelligence. Simon Magus ain't got shit on our kind. So for those that are interested, send me an email at blackearthproductions@hotmail.com. Check out the website at blackearthproductions.com. Click on the services page. Everything still needs to be updated in terms of the website. But as to the products page, the Nectar of Athanasia, everything is still made available in terms of the Mystery School and the platform here with Black Earth Productions. Get a hold of me. This is Sethikus Boza, Blue Flame Healing Arts, and Occult Science, Temple of the White Dragon. Be empowered. Be encouraged.